Greetings, folks, and welcome to today's show. Our guest today is Wayne Limbaugh, who is retiring on the 4th of August as the Director of Public Works in Tullahoma. Wayne is a well-known figure around town. That's a very prominent spot to be, and gets a lot of attention. So we want to thank him for all the years of service that he's given us and review what's been going on. So Wayne, thanks very much for taking time to join us. And everybody's familiar with you as the Public Works Director, but give us a little background. Tell us who Wayne is and where he came from and what you've done besides Public Works, maybe.
Well, I've been around Tullahoma. I mean, I grew up in Tullahoma. I got an associate's degree from Motlow College, and I got my BBA from Middle Tennessee State University. I worked in industry prior to coming with the city. I had my own business for a while, and then joined the city in 1994.
Okay. Very good. Been with them ever since.
Mm-hmm.
You grew up in Tullahoma. Went to school here, I guess.
Right.
For sure.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Play a sport?
I played baseball.
Baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Jim Fuller likes to tell story about me every now and then, but I'm not going to go there. Yeah, I played some high school ball.
Yeah.
And baseball.
Okay, very good. Who was the coach in those days?
Whitaker.
Whitaker.
It was actually the year before Jerry Mathis.
Jerry Mathis came
took over. Yeah. Whitaker. I thought a lot of Whitaker, but he was an experience as a coach.
Well, Jerry Mathis wasn't bad. Yeah.
Jerry Mathis was a very good coach and had some very good teams.
Yeah. Well, very good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, with that, folks, let's take a short commercial break, and we'll talk about Wayne and Public Works.
All I have to do to think about what I was physically before and what I am now, and I don't ever want to go back to that original situation.
The overall mission of the rehab team is always what is best for the patient and how we can facilitate maximum potential from every resident.
Well, the most important thing to me is that I'm allowed to do whatever I want to do, you know.
Everyday Miracles, Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Tired of paying for monthly telephone service, expensive long-distance bills, and all those crazy taxes? Are you sick of spending money on telephone equipment, maintenance contracts, and service calls, all for a phone system that shackles you to 100-year-old technology and your desk? Stop it. It's time to ship your phone system to the cloud. What can the cloud do for you? Bring together remote offices, workers, and employees in the field. Make sure that you'll never miss calls by delivering them to multiple devices. Modernize faxing by allowing multiple faxes to be sent and received at once, and delivered to email. Get your voicemail messages instantly through email too, and take advantage of an endless supply of customizable features. Host My Calls can deliver the cloud. All of this technology with low upfront costs and not one penny in capital expense. It's time for a phone solution you'll truly love from Host My Calls. Call the number below.
We're talking today, folks, with Wayne Limbaugh, who is retiring on the 4th of August as the Director of Public Works in the city of Tullahoma, and he's been in that job for a long, long time. Most of us, I think, are really unaware of the scope of activities that go on in the Public Works Department, so I thought we would review those for you. Wayne, tell the folks what you got going on down there.
Okay, I'll try to not skip too much of it. Of course, one of the key things we got, we have several projects that go on. A lot of those are grant projects, and I'm responsible for overseeing them. We have street projects, we have stormwater projects. We're responsible, of course, for the recycling program, and that's a program that we're real proud of. We're also responsible for animal control, another program that we're real proud of. We We have shop maintenance. All the city vehicles go through our department for maintenance. We handle the cemeteries, the brush collection, the leaf collection, and I'm even, as I told you a while ago, I'm even over the computer systems as far as overseeing that program.
Okay. And I think you mentioned animal control. Solid waste, did you?
And I missed solid waste, which is obviously a key.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah, that's a big one. Of course, that includes both commercial garbage collection and residential garbage collection, the junk truck that runs through your neighborhood once a month. And then I did mention, like the brush collection and leaf collection, and those are all part of the solid waste program as well.
Okay. Now you're involved in most capital improvement projects under the city.
Yeah, a whole lot of them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Maybe not the school system, I guess, is independent. But
oh yeah,
separate,
school system's independent.
But all the rest of it comes under your and
yeah, we help the school systems with a lot of stuff.
Yeah, yeah, good. Okay, and equipment replacement. You mentioned all of you have the maintenance of all the city vehicles, and that's all the city vehicles. You take care of the police department too?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and not only the maintenance, but replacement.
Well, more of the replacement is done by the department now than it was. I used to have to take care of all of it. Like the police department, Chief Black will replace his police cars. But most of the equipment's in Public Works. That's where the bulk of your equipment is. So yeah, we're responsible.
How many vehicles you got?
I think we maintain like 120.
120 somebody. Yeah.
Of course, that's from everything from big equipment to small equipment.
Yeah, yeah. From complicated. Yeah, I marvel at the trash trucks that come around. They're gobble up quite a bit.
Yeah, and those are our garbage trucks, especially the residential trucks, are trucks that has a shorter lifespan because all those moving parts and stuff. That's
a short lifespan.
Yeah. 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 We're getting about 7 years out of a garbage truck right now, and that's pretty good.
Those dudes are expensive, aren't they?
About $250,000.
Wow. That's
what's budgeted. The city will be buying a garbage truck this coming year. We just about have to buy a garbage truck, well, if not every year, pretty close to every year.
Yeah, how many have you got?
Well, we got 2 that run commercial. We got 2 that run residential. We've got 1 that runs recycling for commercial. We got the junk truck that runs through the neighborhoods. Yeah. And then, of course, we have to maintain some backup equipment, too, because when one goes down, we've got to have something there to run the route with.
Yeah.
Or you go 2 or 3 days without picking somebody's garbage up, and you got a problem.
You hear from them,
we hear from them. We hear from them before the 2 or 3 days, I can assure you.
Yeah, it only takes 1 day, really.
Yeah.
So,
and it's something we're real proud of because we, in the years I've been over Public Works, I know there was one day that we had to pull the trucks off the road because they were so slick from ice that they kept sliding into ditches and stuff. And there may have been one other time, but that's the only times that I remember that we've ever had to, close down a route.
Close down. And that's happened once or twice in your
years,
17 or 18 years
right.
Of the department.
Yeah, it's something. It's kind of like the mail. You got to deliver it or pick it up.
Yeah. You got a couple of businesses going on down there. That is, there's revenue as well as expense. Waste treatment or
solid waste.
Solid waste?
The commercial accounts pay for solid waste collection. And then, of course, our recycling program is a revenue generator.
Yeah. And how does that work? You pick the stuff up, you bundle it in some fashion or another.
Yeah, we do our own processing and work with brokers. We've got our own balers. We got 2 balers now. So we bring it in, process it, and ship it through a distributor. And something that we do that we've been doing for a few years now, because we just started out with our own, but since that time we've taken on Manchester's. They bring their stuff to us for us to process, and so does the county. So actually we're processing the whole county's solid waste. I mean recycling.
Recycling, yeah.
And I'm kind of proud of that, you know, the fact that we're able to do that.
Well, how much? So that's a revenue, or how much money you get out of that?
Well, you know, revenue from recycling. One thing that's happened, you know, Mayor Curley is very big on recycling, and he's done a good job on pushing it. So our numbers have gone up. We've had to actually increase put in a second route for at least 2 to 3 days a week. So, you know, there is more volume, but the market price controls a lot of how much you bring in too. And right now we're in an excellent market. I mean, I could see us bringing in about $300,000 this year.
Yeah. So. Probably not quite enough to pay for itself, is it?
Well,
close?
But the other side to that, you got to think about all that tons that's coming in for recycling. It's not going to the transfer station.
Yeah.
So instead of
so it's a savings on one side.
It's a big savings, because right now we're at around $50 a ton just to get rid of solid waste. I'd rather be making $185 on a ton instead of paying $50.
Yeah. So
you add that in there, and our program is pretty solid.
Yeah. Well, very good. Okay. Well, let's take a short commercial break, and we'll come back, folks, and talk some more.
Keith Barnett here with the Russell Barnett Automotive family. Over 75% of car shoppers today use the internet to search for their new or pre-owned vehicle. That's why the RussellBarnett.com website is so versatile, where you can check it anytime, all the time, online. You can search through our new and pre-owned inventory by make, model, mileage, or price. We can value your trade-in and get you pre-approved for financing before you even walk in the door. So check out RussellBarnett.com, and remember, why buy anywhere else?
It's time for every family and business in Tullahoma to go green and recycle. Tullahoma Public Works makes it simple and easy to recycle. Just place your recyclable materials, paper, plastic, aluminum, and cardboard, beside your garbage container on the same day your garbage is picked up. Your recycled materials don't have to be in a fancy container. Recycling is not only the right thing to do, it makes sense. Recycling pays. Paying to bury our garbage costs each of us. Please do your part. Let's go green, Tullahoma, and recycle.
It's your trademark. That's something special everyone knows and remembers. It's your thing. It's made holidays special for decades, and summers unforgettable for the entire neighborhood. It's made everyone laugh every single time. Don't let illness or injury keep you from doing your thing. The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tullahoma is ready to help you live well.
I'm meteorologist Leland Statham from the News Channel 5 Weather Center. Look to Jim Fuller and crew for local news night here on Channel 6.
We're back, folks, and we're talking today with Wayne Limbaugh, who is hanging it up as the Director of Public Works in Tullahoma. A very big department in the city with a lot of things, a lot of different activities going on. And he's been, well, you've been with the department 17 or 18 years. How long have you been director?
The whole time.
The whole time?
I went to Public Works
as
a director.
Okay. One thing we didn't mention earlier, or maybe just in passing, that your degree was in the computer business of some sort, and you wound up sort of being the leader of the city and getting the city into the computerized business, right?
Yeah, my BBA is in computer information systems, and when I first came to the city, we only had 3 or 4 computers, and about a $400 budget. So we started out from scratch.
Yeah.
And now we have around 85 computers and a bunch of networks and a bunch of printers and a bunch of scanners. So it's of course that's true with everybody. You know, it's grown for everybody, but
sure.
it's a little bit bigger than what it was when I started.
Well, you still the city, other city departments still sort of lean on you for.
Yeah, I'm responsible for approving purchases and stuff, and I mean every now and then I'll work on something. If we've got a good technician, I hired a technician or brought in a technician, and probably within 2 or 3 months from the time I started with the city some 23 years ago. He's been with us ever since. And of course, he knows our systems inside and out, and we rely on him to do most all the repairs. But every now and then, if I'm in City Hall and they've got something going on and it's simple enough for me to fix pretty quick, the advantage he has, he can fix it a whole lot quicker than I can.
Yeah.
But I can normally get it fixed.
And maybe he can handle the more complicated stuff a little better too.
Yeah, no doubt.
Okay. Well, all right. We've come up to the point where you know, what are you going to do with retirement? I mean, you're still a pretty young, vigorous guy. You can't go home and put your feet up.
Well, that's the reason I want to retire while I still am. First of all, I got enough stuff around the house to do to keep me busy for a pretty good while. But my wife,
you haven't neglected your house while you've been.
Well, I haven't neglected it, but there's still lots of things to do.
Yeah.
But my wife Beth and I would like to do some traveling. We had actually kind of intended to go down, maybe and spend 3 months in Florida or Gulf Shores probably, because we really enjoy going down there. But we had a new grandbaby about 8 months ago, and since then my wife says she's not going anywhere. So we'll probably take our goal is maybe every quarter take a week and take a trip or something like that. But we'll be around Tullahoma most of the time.
Take a trip somewhere. You interested in foreign travel, or you just want to see more of the states? I've
seen. There's not a lot of states that I haven't seen, but we enjoy going down to Florida. Like I say, we love Gulf Shores. We've been going down there 20, 25 years. We're pretty content to stay in the United States. Now cruises, we may take a cruise or two. But, although the last cruise we went on, it was so rough. Beth had a pretty rough time, so she's not been real anxious to take another one.
Well, and every now and then, we lose somebody going overboard on the cruise ships. That's gotten to be a bit of a problem. Okay. Well, Mayor Curley has been very loud in his praise of the job that Wayne has done. He says we're going to miss his get it done attitude to things. Get it done now. He relates well to people and also manages to remain calm, which I think is quite an accomplishment given the complexity of the stuff that he's involved in. That he can stay pretty cool. So. He's been very favorable in his comments on you, Wayne. Let's talk a little bit about your replacement. It almost sounds like you have sort of grown your replacement as you've gone along. Tell us about it.
Robert Taylor will be replacing me, and most people know him as Butch Taylor. He went to Public Works at the same time I did. We've always, I think as much as anything, we've always complimented each other. He's stronger in areas than I am. I'm stronger in areas than he is, and we've always worked well together. I'm not the least bit concerned about Public Works going forward. With him over the department. We're in the process right now of trying to replace him, because obviously he's stepping up. So we've been interviewing for a superintendent's position.
Is that your interview there? Are you anticipating going outside the city?
We've interviewed inside and outside.
Inside and out.
Mm-hmm.
So You got a timetable on that decision?
Of course, that's Robert's decision. He's going to be working for him, so he's going to select, who's coming in. I have assisted in the interviews, but he's the one that should make that decision. And he's trying to make it real quick because I'm gone pretty soon. So, but you don't want to rush in, because I mean that's a key position. You don't want to, just rush into it and make a mistake.
It's more important to get the right man than the
we're hoping though by the first of the week that we'll know what we're going to do.
Okay. Well, as you say, he's been with the department about the same time you have. Huh? Came in at the same time. What was his? And I say he's got a pretty good background even before the department. He was in the construction business, I think, for a while.
He worked for. He ran crews, and he was a superintendent of crews and construction.
Yeah.
And very, very capable. The building part of it, he knows a whole lot more about it than I do.
Yeah, I noticed he was planning and codes inspector for a while.
When I actually hired Robert, maybe 2 years after I started with the city in the maintenance department, and then a job came open in planning and codes, and he went into that, and he was in there about 2 years. But then when I went to Public Works, he went with me.
Yeah. Okay.
And he's still certified in codes, so it's been an asset to the city on certain occasions, when we didn't have someone.
Yeah, well, he's still in the pinch. We'll go out and do an inspection.
Yeah, he's been known to, not that long ago. So yeah, he does.
Okay, very good. And both Jody Baltz and the mayor have expressed a lot of confidence in him. As I say, I think it's kind of interesting because not everybody is willing to train their replacement, because there's always the concern, well, if this guy gets too good, I may find myself on the outside. But that obviously hasn't been the case with you two. And
no, we've always had a great working relationship, and I've never worried about that.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. Let's go back a minute, and you've got a couple of projects going on. One of which you said you were very proud of, and you still have a project coming up in the animal control area. Talk a little more about that.
Well, we got a lot of projects going on right now, but now we're finalizing the bid document on building a new animal shelter. That shelter's been there since probably the early '80s, and the program that I think I mentioned earlier, but again, we're very proud of the animal control division. Being a no-kill shelter is pretty unheard of, and we're finally going to get to build a shelter like a shelter ought to be, instead of a block building that has a few cages in it. So,
how does the shelter ought to be? What are the
well, I mean,
it's
just as far as you walk into our shelter, we clean it twice a day, but still there's a lot of odor, from the dogs and stuff. There's good cleaning systems you can put into it, good ventilation systems that you can put into it to help keep it clean. Just easier ways to clean it. Kennels that you don't have to worry about corroding anywhere near as quickly. Those kind of things.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more specialized than people realize.
Yeah, I suppose so. And are you taking care of animals outside of Tullahoma?
No. Now, animals that we collect are animals from Tullahoma. We can't take them from outside. We get them sometime from outside, but we don't intend to.
Somebody brings them into town and dumps them?
Dumps them, yeah. That happens, unfortunately. And we have people call us because they've heard about our program, and they want to bring their animals to us because they know they won't be euthanized. So that's something we do have to contend with.
Yeah. Okay.
We've adopted animals. I feel like we've got an excellent adoption program. We've adopted dogs in Illinois and up in New England. We've had people come that far to get dogs from us.
Oh, very good. Well, guess what, folks? We have run out of time. We're going to have to take a short commercial break and wrap up.
Buying a vehicle can be hard. It's even harder if you have poor credit health. But let the team here with Dr. Credit at Russell Barnett Kia help you. With our guaranteed credit approval process, we can help you find your next vehicle. But don't just take that from me. Here's a few of our customers and what they had to say.
They said they could approve us, and then the next thing was how much monthly. I thought it was going to be way too much. And sure enough, he did it what we asked for, what we needed it to be. He did it within. He will help you out.
Schedule your appointment with Dr. Credit at Russell Barnett Kia so you can drive away happy.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
We're back, folks, and we've been talking today with Wayne Limbaugh, who is retiring on the 4th of August as the Director of Public Works after 17 or 18 years in the job. And he's kind of looking forward to that, but I think the city is not particularly looking forward to doing without him. So, Wayne, you want to got a word or two you'd like to put direct to the folks out there?
Well, yeah, there's so many different people you'd like to thank. Because first of all, I want to thank the board, mayor and aldermen, for having the confidence to allow me to go into that job. Jody Balch for recommending me for the job. Public Works employees, we got a great crew, and you're only as good as the people you surround yourself with, and that's something that I've always tried to do, and I'm very comfortable with our crews. I want to thank, I especially want to thank my family, my wife, who has tolerated phone calls at 3 o'clock in the morning for all these years and being, very supportive of me. And, all the citizens, because I always tell people that, if someone's got a complaint, a lot of times they call board members. They got a compliment, they call us. And we get a lot of compliments, and it's appreciated.
Well, good. Wouldn't hurt if they got a compliment that they call the board, huh?
Yeah, and they do. They do. But,
okay. All right, very good. Well, Wayne, I'll add my thanks to a lot of other folks for your service, and the department has run very well, so we'll look forward to that continuing under Butch. And with that, folks, I want to thank you for inviting us into your parlor, and we will see you next time.